going on, guys? Proston Talk you back again with another video, and let's talk about the ratings for Monday Night Raw, NXT, and AEW. Why are they down and bad? Simple thing is that not many people are interested in the product anymore. Simple fact is, it's 2020. Yes, we've had a global pandemic, and that is the majority of it. Is that? But why is that? Number one. Well, obviously, number one, there's not really much compelling storylines. I know we've got our tribal chief Roman Reigns, and we've got the Fiend and Red Jordan doing his thing. But apart from those, who else is actually doing anything? Who else is going to move the needle for the WWE and even with an AEW? Because I look at the ratings and I'm like, especially like AEW and um, you have Raw, who are not even like going over 1,000 views. I think actually, yeah, they're not even getting 1,000 views or something like that. They're only getting like 900 and something views and stuff like that. So how would I fix the Raw? So first thing I would do is actually for the mid card division, especially for your Intercontinental, U.S. titles, I would have a ranking system. Yes, it's been done with AEW and stuff like that. I know people are going to say it in the comments, but it actually would, if you actually was consistent with it and you actually meant, if you went the whole way with this whole ranking system, and like in sports, like you have a tournament of different stuff, if it's NBA or whatever it's going to be. You should do something like that, where one week the guy in the fourth bracket defeats the guy in the first bracket, and then he moves up the ranking, and then and they do a ranking, and it actually makes them mean something, and then they can have some momentum on the Intercontinental because and the US title because it's been so long that I can't even remember the last time the US and the IC title actually meant something in WWE. The US title probably John Cena, and the Intercontinental title was probably The Miz in 2016. But apart from those two things, like the mid card was, especially those titles, they've been so downgraded over the last 10 plus years. Like, they have no meaning anymore. And I remember especially when I was a kid, like the mid card title was the title that especially IC title and the US title, that was your kind of step to the ladder for getting yourself in a future championship match for maybe like your WWE championship or a world title at the time. Look at the likes of John Cena and Kurt Hennig back in the day, and Razor Ramon, even though he didn't win a WWE title, but and examples like that, and even Owen Hart, stuff like that, would always go for the Intercontinental title, and that would always elevate their career, and that's what I think. That's why the WWE are really lacking in the mid card division, and they need to build up some faces like. I want to shout out Dorksman for this because I was actually watching a video of him earlier, and the analogy he came up with is like one babyface. A babyface needs a good heel, and sometimes they don't mix up together. Look at Austin and look at Vince. They did the best ratings in the WWE has ever done. 8 point something ratings. I know it was 23 years ago, but this and that. But they work great together. Now, why don't you build up your babyfaces? Like I said, build up the guys like Kofi and Xavier and stuff like that, and actually build on them like you did. Look at Kofi, how over he was at WrestleMania, and I know with the fan base, especially some of the fan base were very toxic and very flip floppy. I understand that, but not every single wrestler is like that. So, and I hate that about this is one thing I don't like about wrestling in 2020 is that how bad flip flopping nature is. But yeah, so focus on the mid card and basically have better babyfaces because if you look at the babyface, like you have these generic, guys all, and they say the whole generic thing like make it feel authentic and make it feel realistic, and they're actually meaning it, like because someone like they're just reading off a promo and like yeah, make it realistic. Number one, actually make your heels credible. Yes, that's right. A problem I've had with WWE in the past is that especially in WWE, over the last couple of years, is WWE heels have been cowardly and backing away. Actually, have your heel actually, you know, fucking go to the fight and actually them, challenging the faces instead of them walking away. It just makes them more of a coward and stuff like that. Like make them be a fucking. They're supposed to be a bad guy, so make them a bad guy or girl. And yeah, so that's what I'll do for Raw. And for AEW, quick, I'll just basically I haven't seen much of AEW in the last couple weeks, but I would do like a basically I would just focus on your women's division because your women's division I think is the one part in AEW that really needs a lot of work to do with it. Like they need to build up some of those characters and some of those women on that AEW roster. But I think I've been liking about AEW is I've liked obviously the ranking system they've had, and basically my problem is with AEW is um basically don't think that you can get all your shit in. I said this in my AEW review I did 2 months, like the last review they had, all out when that Matt Hardy thing happened. You don't need to get all your shit in on a television show. Maybe, and not even on a pay per view, you don't have to do that. You need to make sure that you have enough in, make sure you put enough in your match, but make sure that people are coming back for the next week, if you know what I mean. Like, you don't have to have, like, get your shit into the 50 super kicks in the thing, 50 super kicks in and whatever. Actually, build up and actually like I want to see some of these wrestlers sell more, like the Young Bucks and stuff like that, and build up some of these guys and stuff like that, and actually help them on promos and stuff, and actually develop characters with these guys. It's okay doing flips and kicks and dives and you know uh, all these fucking all catchphrases that they're saying and stuff like too sweet and whatever, but actually get them over as characters and stuff like that. So yeah, that is my kind of video on why I think that the ratings are bad in 2024. I was supposed to say for Raw, but I've kind of put on AEW now. But yeah, for Raw and AEW.